we would be looking at the random number generation. There are two steps to generate a random number in our Linux system. One is using a srand function. And then the second one is to use another function. Let's say num is a variable, and rand function. So there are two steps. First is the calling this srand function, which is sets the seed value internally to the system. It requires another function called time, or any parameter. Usually we give a time parameter. You might ask me, what is the time? Time is the number of seconds elapsed from 1970, something like that, and it's a huge number in seconds, okay, elapsed since 1970, and you pass that. Every time you call that function, the number of seconds keeps changing, right? Our time keeps increasing, right, every time you call. And so that we feed to the srand function that sets internally sets the value to something. We call that as a seed value. Then you call the random. All right. So if you go back here, I have listed here as this is the library function include, okay, and you see here time and srand. All right, and this is internal sets in, and then this is the actual rand function we call, okay, get the random number, and we are printing it here, okay. Let's see, the second one is the random max. What is the maximum number that the system can generate is defined in this constant called rand underscore max. It's a constant value, okay, constant value, and we can print that and see what the value is. All right, let's check that out. Let's see if we're able to okay, the random number generated is some huge number, and the random maximum number is this, okay. This is the maximum number that you can get. And so those are the two basic function calls you have to call to get a random number. Now let's say every time let's say you call this function, let's see here, you call every time the number keeps changing. You see that? This is the random number. It keeps changing. If you do not call the srand, okay, with any time function, or just call 0 or something, now you see if I call okay, 180, what that is, right? You get again, every time you call it's the same number. See that? It's the same number. Every time you call it's the same number. So it's not random anymore. I can predict what the value is, right? That is why you have to send a unique value every time. Alright, so time is the number of seconds elapsed. Now if you compile it and run every time, it'll keep changing. You see that? It's keep changing every time. That's what we want, right? That's what we want. So that's one. And alright, so we got that. We got how to use it. Second thing is, there might be applications where we need a random number between a range, low and high. We want a random number between these two ranges. Let's say it is from 50 to 100 in our case. What really happens is, or say maybe 1000, whatever it is, right? You want a random number between low and high. The best way is to call the random function. Sorry, let me make it big. So you have the low and high range. That's what you need. So we know low plus the low plus the difference between these two, right, is what? High minus low. So we got the difference, right? That's the difference we got. And if you, whatever the rand gives us a value, which is a huge number, if you trim that using mod, you'll always get in this, not the range, in the difference. Say 1000 minus 50 is our range, so it is 950. So your rand mod 950 will always range from 0 to 950. And if you add that fifth low to that, okay, so your random number will always be from 50 to 1000. You see it, right? So that is why we do this expression. So if you want a range, it's always low plus rand mod high minus low. So that is what this function is. We have, let's say I have from 20 to 50 here, so I just use that. Let me print the value. Okay, range. So if we compile that, clear it and run it, so you got a maximum number 33, random number. Okay, let's run it again. 31. It's unpredictable, it is now. 25. And here also you see the random number is very unpredictable. 24. So it ranges. Okay, so this video is about random numbers. Thank you.